Accompanying the minister on stage is Ambassador Rajiv Bhatia, member of Governing Council Asian Conference. And I also invite on stage His Excellency Professor Shamsul Alam, Minister of State for Planning, Government of Bangladesh. I request His Excellency Professor Shamsul Alam, Minister of State for Planning, Government of Bangladesh, to kindly come on the stage. I now request Ambassador Bhatia to kindly sum up NADI 2020.
Honorable Dr. R.K. Ranjan, Minister of State for Education and External Affairs, Professor Shamsul Alam, the State Minister for Planning, Bangladesh, distinguished guests and friends. We are reaching the end of a journey today, and for this last session, we are truly honored that Minister Ranjan has come here from Delhi to give his parting thoughts and guidance to the participants of this conference. But before he does so, I think I've been asked to present a macro view of our conference, and it is my pleasure to do so in a very short time, because I know that all of you have had 2 days of solid exposure to multiplicity of ideas, and therefore this is now the time to start gathering our thoughts. Let me begin by saying that NADI 3, the Asian Confluence River Conclave 2022, has now emerged as the premier platform for conversation and cultural communication, not only of the Northeast, not only of India, but indeed of the Bay of Bengal region, stretching from Nepal and Bhutan to such key ASEAN states, and in fact all the way to Japan. And yet this is a dialogue which has a focus on Northeast and on the vital relationship with Bangladesh and potentially Myanmar. NADI 3 is a fitting sequel to NADI 1, held in Shillong in 2016, and NADI 2, held in 2017 in Dhaka. And then these two great events were followed by a series of conversations, activities, studies, projects, workshops that took place between 2018 and 2021. And this fire was kept burning despite the multiple challenges faced by ESCON, not the least caused by COVID. On this occasion, let me pay my sincere homage to Dr. B.B. Datta, the father of our Executive Director Sabya, who was the towering force behind this project. I would also like to recall the sterling and pivotal contribution by Shri P.P. Srivastava, an extraordinary civil servant and a great expert on Northeastern affairs, who is unable to be present here today with us due to ill health. He is the father of our graceful anchor Sadhna. I bring these people up because this conclave is like a river. It starts from somewhere and it ends up somewhere else. And this is something that we need to remember. Particularly, it should be remembered by those who are joining this caravan in this year. Truly speaking, the past 3 days have been nothing but a rich intellectual and cultural feast for those of us who have been fortunate to have partaken in it. It was a rich, productive, and stimulating conference. It saw a total of 17 sessions and conversations where dozens of experts spoke and interacted with the participants. It witnessed two spectacles, one hosted at the State House on 27th May, which exhibited wonderful Assamese culture, dances and music, and the other which was staged on 28th May yesterday at this venue. And this had two segments, one which was beautifully led by the veteran Assamese artist Sunita Bhuyan, and the other segment should truly be described as Bangladesh Night in Guwahati, which was graced by the presence of the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh and the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of the state of Assam. Dear friends, what mattered at this conference was the abundance of ideas and plans, hopes and dreams, achievements and challenges articulated by a long list of political leaders, diplomats, intellectuals, academics, and national and international experts from divergent walks of life, and indeed belonging to different nations. But there was a common thread. It all related to how, through a better management and connectivity through rivers of our region, we have the possibility, the real possibility of leveraging our shared heritage into a much more productive and enriching future. A future that brings greater security, stability, and above all, prosperity to our nations and our peoples. The trick is how to convert ideas into action, and we would like very much to believe that the task has begun. Of the numerous speeches, remarks, and interventions we heard, several are still reverberating vividly in our ears. I wish to quickly recall just a few, perhaps for those who may be catching a cup of tea when the speaker spoke here in the hall. First, the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh observed so wisely that rivers do not have any religion. They do not respect national boundaries. and they do not discriminate. He said, and I quote, "Rivers define us, they are us." Very profound thought uttered by a respected political leader, a very competent foreign minister, and I suspect somebody who is almost a poet. Then the External Affairs Minister of India stated that both the big picture and detailed steps and measures that are being taken today form part of the exciting vision of the region's future. He said, and I quote, "An India that is more committed, that is more connected to the Northeast, and a Northeast that is more connected to India's neighbors will mean a complete transformation of the regional economy and indeed the regional environment." He spoke of the northeastern region of India as a hub and not as a frontier. This was once again the result of a very deep reflection. The Chief Minister of Assam, who gave us two wonderful speeches, noted that the NADI 3 was a remarkable opportunity to articulate a collective vision for our shared prosperity. We greatly value the engagement and the support of the biggest state in the region. Then the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Thailand remarked that the conclave would facilitate a constructive dialogue among our partners in the Bay of Bengal region and thus pave the way for new and enhanced cooperation in this area. We all know that Thailand holds the chairmanship of BIMSTEC, and what the Deputy Prime Minister said, a leader who's totally committed to the idea of regional identity and progress is important. India's Finance Minister spoke right in this hall just a little while ago. Whenever she speaks with conviction. I don't have to summarize or even refer to what she said, except the last line that she uttered when she said, "The government of India is fully committed to the neighborhood policy." So let me end this brief remarks by saying, on behalf of ESCON, on behalf of the host institution of this great conclave, that we are grateful to the government of India, the government of Assam, and governments of all friendly countries who were so fruitfully represented here from South Asia, from ASEAN, and at least two of our Quad partners, Japan and Australia. I think this is the contours of a new family that we are seeing. It's very difficult for outsiders to understand as to how South Asians, with Northeast as the pivot, as the center, are creating a new family for progress that involves countries such as the ones which I mentioned just now. I also want to say that while our rapporteurs have worked very hard and we have a lot of material by way of summary, which I'm going to refrain from using, but I do want to recognize the fact that while political leaders gave their macro view here, in this room as well as in other rooms, our experts went into in-depth discussion on a range of subjects stretching from agriculture and energy, riverine communities and public diplomacy, education and capacity building, disaster management, and the link between the Bay of Bengal and the Indo-Pacific region. There were other subjects as well, and I can assure you, just as ESCON has, I'm sure, impressed you fully by the production of its conference booklet. It's a collector's item. If you got a copy, keep it, because you will enjoy gaining insights about the subject as you read it carefully and at leisure. I'm confident that when ESCON produces the conference report of this conference, that will also become a collector's item. Respected Minister, I have presented this very brief report for your information also, because we really feel very honored that you are here. You are, first of all, someone who belongs to this region. Secondly, you have been taking the lead in guiding and directing our policy, not only towards this region, but a large part of the world. And therefore, what you would say will be of immense interest to our audience today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Bhatia. We now have for you a special address on education and capacity building for realizing the potential of our riverine heritage and a prosperous Bay of Bengal region by Dr. R.K. Ranjan, Minister of State, Education and External Affairs, Government of India. Dr. R.K. Ranjan.
His Excellency Ambassador Rajiv Bhatia ji, His Excellency Professor Alam, Minister of Planning, Bangladesh, and Bez Barua ji, and other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar. A very good afternoon. I'm delighted to address you today as the third edition of this conclave drawn to a close. I must indeed start off by congratulating the organizer for an event NADI 3 well organized. This conclave has given us an opportunity to discuss, understand, and celebrate our shared riverine heritage, and also identify both opportunities and common challenges. I am especially pleased to note the level of participation from our international partners. This conference, the Natural Allies in Development and Interdependence, or wholly called NADI, recognizes the region south of Himalayan from Ganga, Brahmaputra to Mekong as a continuity of river basin with common challenges and required cooperation beyond political boundaries. Friends, the profusion of rivers in India's east and northeast is simply unparalleled. For times immemorial, these rivers have flown through this geographical expanse, carrying with them cultural values and ethos of the subcontinent. They have connected people, built trade linkages, and shaped belief systems. For instance, the transboundary Ganges Brahmaputra Meghna River basin alone cover 1.7 million square kilometers. It impacts the life of over 620 million people across the Bay of Bengal. As many of you know, the landlocked northeastern part of India is connected to the rest of the country by Thin Chicken Neck, the Siliguri corridor. As such, alternate connectivity via river to the rest of the country, as well as increased connectivity between India and our neighbors via air waterways, therefore, become critical. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankarji has said that economic growth is universally driven by three C's: connectivity, commerce, and contact. And our riverine system have a major role to play in boosting all three. Sheer rivers also bring with them natural challenges such as flooding, loss of biodiversity, etc. Mitigations which need close cooperations beyond political boundary. It is therefore imperative that our countries work together, exchange of knowledge on sustainable management, and share our development experiences for the overall prosperity of the region. Guided by our philosophy of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, India can play a pivotal role in capacity building initiatives to improve the quality of education and skill of our vast human resources, an effort which will contribute towards the development of this region. Educational ties have always been a robust bridge between India and our neighbors in the Bay of Bengal region. The Jakatas and other historical records reveals that the knowledge center of Taxila, Nalanda, and Vikramshila drew academics from all over the region. And while there is more part to cover, this tradition has continued through till that. In the year 2019 and 20, 28% of India's foreign students were from Nepal, 4.6% from Bangladesh, and 3.8% from Bhutan. Indian university have also imparted training to political leaders from across the regions. Friends, understanding the importance of educational exchanges with our BIMSTEC partners, Prime Minister Modi ji announced several education and capacity building initiatives during the 4th BIMSTEC Summit in the year 2018. India has since offered 31 scholarships for students from BIMSTEC member states in Nalanda University. India also announced the establishment of Center for Bay of Bengal Studies at Nalanda University, which would undertake research on art, culture, maritime laws, and other subjects including link connecting the languages in the Bay of Bengal region. At the fifth summit, India increased the scope of the scholarship. India has been offering 30 scholarships annually in traditional medicine through the Ayush Scholarship Program. India also offers 100 slots annually through ITech program in tourism, renewable energy, entrepreneurship, water-related aspects, agriculture and environment, and disaster management. India also offers 12 slots to research fellowship in advanced medicines. Further, at this summit, an MOU on mutual cooperation between diplomatic academies, training institutes of BIMSTEC member states was signed. Similar capacity building agreement between law enforcement training institutes and forensic sciences institutes were announced. Prime Minister Modi ji also offered to promote joint research and networking between marine scientific institutions. In the area of disaster management, India has conducted training courses and workshops for senior professionals from the region in 2019 and 2020. We conduct a BIMSTEC tri-services, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise called PANEX 21 in December. 2 capacity building workshops were conducted by Gujarat Institute of Disaster Management in 2019 and 2021. India also offers training courses for security officials from member countries. These cover a range of issues from drug trafficking to coastal security. Further, India offers various projects in our northeastern regions in areas of science and technology, including extension of our science and technology intervention in the northeastern region, program for promoting the use of technology in agriculture, energy, and waste management. India has offered a training program for threat officials from member states, which will be conducted by the Indian Council of Research on International Economic Relations. This will enhance the capacity of our officials in improving intra-BIMSTEC threats and pave the way of speeding up the deliberation on a BIMSTEC FTA. Friends, I will not be incorrect to say that increasingly the STEM area are taking center stage in our education diplomacy. We have also been focusing on sharpening the vocational skill of candidates from our partner countries. Tailored initiative meant to boost specific sector of their economies. There has been an increasing focus on exchanges between academia, think tank, media, and parliamentarians to further broaden and deepen bilateral relationships. Let me highlight some of the initiatives we have taken in our immediate neighborhoods. About 1,000 Bhutanese students studying in Indian colleges and institutes benefit from the award of the Ambassador Scholarship every year. Last year, we signed an MOU for corporations in the areas of environment with Bhutan, aiming to form a joint working group to undertake collaborative activities such as exchange of knowledge, best practices, and technology transfer. Since 2019, India has been training about 1,800 Bangladesh civil service officials at the National Center for Good Governance, Mussoorie. Annually, around 800 participants from Bangladesh have held the high-tech training courses. A Bangabandhu chair has been recently established in Delhi University. We also have a number of Indian nationals studying in Bangladesh. Around 1,500 scholarship seats are provided every year by two Nepalese nationals for undergoing various courses at all levels under the high-tech program. And professional training is also offered annually, about 250 officials from Nepal. During Prime Minister's recent visit to Lumbini, a range of MOU were signed between Indian and Nepalese educational institutes, solidifying our partnership in this area. These include opening of Dr. Ambedkar's Chair of Buddhist Studies in the Lumbini Buddhist University, ICCR chairs in Tribhuvan University, and in Kathmandu University, MOU for general cooperation between Kathmandu University and Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, a letter of agreement for a joint degree program between Kathmandu University and IIT Madras. Nepal has also expressed interest in joining the Nalanda University. With Myanmar, too, our education and capacity buildings ties have been robust. These include ICCR scholarship and EITech courses. Indian IIT offers 1,000 integrated PhD fellowship for Asian students program. This program itself is a key tool in our effort towards strengthening educational and technological ties with our friends from ASEAN. India also contributed to capacity building effort by providing degree courses to Myanmar national in IT and agricultural sector institutes, and that have been set up with assistance from India, like Myanmar Institute of Information Technology and Advanced Center for Agricultural Research and Education. Friend, the Mekong Ganga Cooperation Initiative aims to facilitate closer contact among the people inhabiting the river basin of these two major civilizational rivers. Collaboration on education and capacity building are key pillars of the initiative. Let me go over some of our effort in this direction. India has been offering scholarship to the Cambodia, Laos, PDR, Myanmar, Thailand, and Vietnam under the Mekong Ganga Scholarship Scheme since 2005. Indian Council of Cultural Relations is the nodal agency administering the scholarship. Under Mekong Ganga Collaboration Scholarship Scheme, 50 scholarships are offered each academic year at the level of undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD courses in Indian university to the students of this country. Particularly notable is the direct involvement of institutes from our northeastern region, such as the agreement between Nagaland University and Thailand's Chiang Mai University to enhance educational exchanges. Friends, I'm certain that as we enhance and strengthen our knowledge pool, even greater attention will be paid towards more cooperation in water conservation, comprehensive cooperation in water conservation, fisheries, food management, and pollution in rivers, challenges which are common to us all across this region. This way, we would be able to build greater synergies in climate action and greater resolve towards preserving our shared natural heritage. We will also be able to tap on technological advancement to capitalize on this river to further the trade and people-to-people linkage that span these vital regions. There are billions who call this region home and rely on our rivers for food and water scarcity, as well as for their economic and cultural well-being. Just now, our ambassador has mentioned some of the sayings given by our renowned scholars. Like that, I would like to imitate one sentence. This is quote from the River Network, International River Network. They said, when the river flows free, the biodiversity grows. Like that, when our region's river flow free, our regional relation and identity will grow exponentially. Thank you. And this is the time to act is now. Our time is to act now. So with these few words, once again, I thank you for giving this opportunity and also saying some few words and sharing some my thoughts. So with these few words, I again thank you all the organizers. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Ranjan, for sharing your thoughts with us. I now request Professor Shamsul Alam, Honorable Minister of State for Planning, Government of Bangladesh, to kindly speak on the occasion.
A very good evening to everyone. Honorable Chair, Ambassador Rajiv Bhatia, and our Honorable Minister R.K. Ranjan, Union Minister of State for Education and External Affairs, ASM Shamsul Arifin, who is Chairman, Foundation for Regional Studies, and distinguished audience. The topic is, of course, very important, education. The world is very much moving fast. The economies are transforming very rapidly. And as such, India, Bangladesh, this region, we are also moving fast. I'm saying this on the basis that India would be one of the fastest growing country during this year after COVID infestation, and Bangladesh will also be a fast growing nation. Will grow by 7.25% during our financial year 2021-22. I mean the passing year. And in the coming year, we expect we'll be growing by 7.5% or so. And this eastern region of India also growing fast. Assam is growing by 9% around per annum, which is very much encouraging. And When we are growing fast, our income is increasing, per capita income is increasing, and our demand for education and other services will also grow. So certainly we should think of increasing our educational facilities. And you all know education is a powerful instrument for human development. And education and health as two important tools for human development. When we talk about human development, that covers actually education as well as health also. And in terms of educational attainment, we got a vivid description how India is supporting educational activities through government to government scholarship to this region. And as such, as I said, we are a very rapidly growing nation. In educational sector, we also grew fast. In 2005, 2006, our literacy level was only 43% of people who are above age 15. Now Bangladesh literacy rate is 75%. Rapidly we are progressing, no doubt about that. And not only the education, actually, in human resources also, we are developing fast. You see, our expected life expectancy has increased to 75 years, which was only 65 years, a decade ago. And in terms of education, empowers people. To have gender equality, gender empowerment, we must have education. And through education, actually, Bangladesh, we attained gender parity very much in the primary and secondary education. In primary school, right now, out of 104 boys, out of 104 girls, we have 100 students at the primary level, up to 5th grade. And at the secondary level, to the 16th grade, out of 140 girls, we have 100 boys. So in gender parity, we also actually attained in a big way. And, our maternal mortality, it was 494 out of 100,000 women giving birth. So it was 494 in 1991. It is 163 now, maternal mortality. We should decrease it more to attain our SDG success. So in terms of overall SDG attainment, in terms of education and health, we are progressing very much encouragingly. We are on the right track. One of the best performing nation is Bangladesh in terms of SDG attainment. Even over the COVID period, during the last 2 years and a half, our rank has been accelerated 3-4 notches up. So that means even during COVID period where schools are closed, educational institutions are closed, but we are growing. So even in gender parity index, Bangladesh's rank is 50 out of 169 countries. It is highest in South Asia in that sense. So what I'm trying to say, in terms of human development, both in terms of educational attainment and health attainments, we are progressing in a very rapid way. That's very much encouraging. And we also aimed that we will be an illiteracy-free country by 2041. By 2041, we have drawn a second vision paper for Bangladesh, which we call Vision 2041, where we said Bangladesh will be a literacy-free country, Bangladesh will be a hunger-free country, Bangladesh will have per capita income of 16,400 by 2041. That means we will be a prosperous country or developed country with that per capita income level. So we are really progressing fast in every sector. And as we are growing fast, certainly again I said, demand for health services, demand for better living, demand for quality education will also rise. So we need skilled manpower to face the advancing situation. We need to cope up with the fourth industrial revolution that is coming up. And we have to face fifth industrial revolution also. So in this region, particularly in Bangladesh, what I saw, at our independence, we had only 5 public universities. Now we have around 50 public universities in Bangladesh with 108 private universities. So we have created big infrastructural facilities in our country. And in Bangladesh, we have Nepali students, very many Nepali students reading having medical education, engineering education, dentistry, and other in the textile. We have Bhutanese students, very many Bhutanese students. Even the Bhutanese Prime Minister, who is the Prime Minister now, he got his medical education from Bangladesh. He's medical education graduate. He took his degree from Bangladesh. So we have students from Sri Lanka and other parts. Even from this northeastern region, we have some students. So what I would like to say, let's we open up the doors of these countries for the students, not only government to grant, not only with the scholarship. The private sector has grown in a substantial way in all these countries. Let the private sector students go for their own way, choosing their subjects and go to these countries that will help us better understanding, better cooperation, and better cultural linkage if we can allow students go freely. And for that, we need to relax, visa, we must have visa relaxation as easy as possible. As one wishes to go, he should be allowed to go in any country of this region. And, even we have developed so many infrastructural facilities, and perhaps in other countries also, India also created a lot of facilities, and they have very, center of excellence, very many, like IIT in Kharagpur, like that. So lest we allow students to go to their choice, they know better which country offer which degree most efficiently and more, in a most qualitative way. So one of the big way of cooperating each other to be integrated, in terms of, yeah, that's good, thank you. Anyway, so what I would be saying, please, we know we heard a lot of things about cooperation during the last 2 days. Very many technical sessions we attended, and here, ultimately what we actually claimed for, more cooperation and more cooperation. So that cooperation should be in the economic fronts, in trade businesses, as well as that should be more for education, in the education sectors. So many can come to Bangladesh now for maritime education, for oceanography, for agricultural education, for dentistry. So likewise, India also can offer very many degrees in, Internet of Things like that, and in higher technical education, one can get from India too. So I would urge, in my brief speech, let's we open up the door for all the students. This region is not a union still now, like European Union, where they do not need a visa, where they can go easily without any visa checking. The trains go from one country to others. So we are not in a union, no doubt, But for students, let we begin free exchange of students from one country to other. That would open up a great possibility and potential in this region. Let's we grow fast. Let we become one of the rich region for human resource. And I would urge, and my call would be that let's we allow students to go freely for education, for even for tourism also, if they like in their courses, education, they want to have internship in other country, we can allow them. And for a study visit, they can choose any of these BBIN country particularly. So having said these few words, I enjoyed the speech of our Honorable Minister, State Minister of Education and External Affairs. He categorically said what India has been doing to help education in this region by offering scholarships. So that is fine. We can offer a scholarship, but more would be what if you can allow private students to go freely from one country to another. Sorry, I'm in a very bad shape in terms of, I don't know why. My throat is maybe drying. So thank you very much. And I thank the organizers for allowing me speaking here. Very best of you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. I request Shri Bezbarwaji to kindly come on the stage and felicitate the distinguished guests on stage. Thank you. I request Mr. Shamsun Arifil from Friends of Bangladesh to kindly present a memento to our honored guest, Dr. R.K. Ranjan. So I request you to kindly remain seated on the stage after this. We have a little ceremony. I request our distinguished guests on stage to kindly remain seated. We'd like to talk about Conduit, which is a special initiative of NADI 2022 to encourage young minds and to generate awareness towards river conservation and ignite belongingness towards our rivers from a very early age. Conduit was organized by Asian Confluence in association with Kids Veda Preschools, a well-known brand working in the field of early childhood education in Northeast India. The online competition was organized in 3 categories as per age group. 1, poster making. Group 1, nursery to class 3. Topic was The River as I See. Second was slogan writing. Group 2, from class 4 to class 8. Topic was Me and My River. And third was video making. Group 3, class 9 to class 12. And the topic was The Story of a River. May I request Dr. R.K. Ranjan to kindly distribute these awards, and may I request Sharmishta Nandi Palibal, Director of Kid Veda, to kindly join us on the stage. I invite the winner of poster making contest, Nairiti Barua, Kid Z Bhetapada Junior KG. Nairiti Barua. She is the winner of the poster making contest. She is one of the winners who's present here. There are other winners who could not be present here. She's one of the winners who has come here. In the slogan writing contest, the winner who's present with us this evening is Nayanika Das from Maria's Public School. She's in class 6. Big round of applause for all the winners. They need all the encouragement. They'll carry our message forward. She is one of the winners who's present here with us today. I now invite on stage VKSPV Coordinator Shrimati Rebati Devi to accept the certificates on behalf of the winners of Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya. Bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I now request Professor Shamsul Alam to kindly felicitate Shri Abhinivesh and Tanushri for the NADI exhibition that you saw outside. Abhinivesh and Tanushri. The beautiful exhibition that you've seen outside, if you liked it, the beautiful NADI exhibition that you've seen outside, I request Professor Shamsul Alam also to felicitate the winners. And I'd like to invite Mr. Ula Thang from Myanmar, who has also contributed to the exhibition. Mr. Ula Thang from Myanmar. Mr. Ula Thang from Myanmar, who has also worked towards the NADI exhibition. We'd like to felicitate our hospitality partners, Radisson, and I request Ambassador Bhatia to kindly felicitate them. I call on stage Mr. Rakib Rahman of Radisson and his team. Mr. Rakib Rahman of Radisson. He is representing his team who worked very hard for this conclave. Our setup partner is MN Communication. I invite Shri Kankan and Shri Nobo. We'd like to felicitate Shri Kankan and Shri Nobo, who are representing their teams. Setup partners. I invite on stage all the volunteers of Asian Confluence who've really worked hard. Can we quickly come on the stage, please, for a very quick group photograph? I request you all to kindly remain seated. We still have a few things to go. Go closer. You won't come. Please sit in front. Go in front and sit there, boys. What are you doing? Sit in front. All boys go in front. Girls, go closer. Sit in. You go closer. Thank you very much. Kindly take your seats. By way of his blessings and good wishes, we have just received a video message from Sri Ravi Shankar ji. We will play that message now. Video message by His Holiness Sri Ravi Shankar ji, by way of his good wishes and his blessings. May we have the video, please?
Water is the very lifeline of human existence. We need to protect our sources of water. We need to protect our rivers. And it's a shared thing for the whole world, especially today when there is water scarcity everywhere. We must conserve, we must preserve water and see that our rivers are not polluted. I'm very glad that all the countries of Southeast Asia are coming together in the NADI conference and having the deliberation of how we should protect the shared resource of nadis, the rivers in this region. Water is not only for agriculture, it is also for navigation, so commerce and trade can all use waterways, and it's such a big resource which we cannot afford to neglect anymore. And let us all work together, let us see this planet Earth in all its glory sustained, and for future generation will be able to give a better society, better planet. Let's give for the future generation a better planet which has robust environment and a happy society. Trees have to be planted. We need to protect our soil because our soil is being depleted and we have put so many chemicals and harmful fertilizers which for momentary gives us good crops, but then it has a bad impact. On the same side, the water, when the polluting chemicals are mixed in water and that is let into the rivers, we are doing a big disservice to the planet Earth. So I once again congratulate the organizers of this conference and all those who are deliberating in the conference. Let us see that our rivers are attended to well. We have always considered in this part of the world as rivers are very sacred, and let us protect the rivers so that it can protect life on the planet Earth. Let us educate our people on how we can keep our rivers free from pollution. Anyway, downstream we must be able to drink the river water. That is the purity we must aim, and let's all work towards it. It has to happen through public-private partnership, government help, and government's initiative has to be supported by the masses, and let's all work in all these countries to educate and to eradicate all type of pollutions that clog our rivers. Namaste.
And I invite Mr. Sajjad Alam from the Act East Department, Government of Assam, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable Union Minister of State, Shri R.K. Ranjan ji, Honorable Minister of State for Planning of Bangladesh, Shri Shamsul Alam ji, dignitaries on and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen, and their children, as I have seen. Good evening to one and all present. I really feel honored and privileged to get this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. As we started the journey for NADI 3.0, there were a lot of challenges, a lot of coordination problems. But as I say to my elder brother, Sri Sabyachachi Datta, that the river shall take its own course. It will find its confluence. And now, with the help of all of one and all, we have finally found its confluence. We had a tremendous amount of success in this two-day conference. So success definitely is not an individual effort. It involves the effort of everyone working as one team. So I'd like to thank all the honorable and esteemed delegates who blessed us with their presence in the two-day long conclave. And I'd like to mention special regards to our Honorable External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankarji, for gracing the inaugural session of this conclave and also putting forward a vision for the entire region. We'd also like to thank our Honorable Union Minister of Finance, Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji, for gracing this occasion in spite of her severe pre-commitments and also proposing a new path with where we should give disaster resilience a place in our planning process. I'd also like to thank our former Chief Minister of Assam, the Honorable Union Minister of Shipping and Ayush, Sri Sarbananda Sonowalji, for being part of this two-day conclave. He had also proposed to make Assam the hub of river cruise in not only in the country but across the entire region. I'd also like to thank our Honorable Union Minister of State, Sri R.K. Ranjan ji, for gracing the occasion in this valedictory function. We are really honored to have you here, sir. And now we have a distinguished delegation from Bangladesh. So we are really privileged to have within our midst the Foreign Minister of, the Honorable Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, Dr. Abdul K. Momenji, for his presence here really illuminated the entire conclave, and instead of an academic discussion, it meant something for the future, how our Indo-Bangladesh relations will shape up. We are also privileged to have Shri Shamsul Alamji, our Honorable Minister of State for Planning of Bangladesh, for gracing this occasion. And we are also really enlightened by his speech on education, and we do need, as he has proposed, a common platform for promoting education across the entire region. And then I would also like to convey my deep regards and gratitude to our Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, because in spite of his busy schedule, he has graced our, not only these, for the 3 consecutive days, not only for the NADI, but for the another event which preceded it, the conclave on Act East. So, and I would also like to thank our ministers in the state government, Honorable Minister Sri Chandramohan Patwari, the Honorable Minister for Act East Policy Affairs and Industries, and Srimati Anajanta Neokji, who is the Honorable Finance Minister of the Government of Assam, for gracing this NADI conclave. Our leaders have genuinely contributed to actuate our thoughts and words into reality. And in this regard, I'd also like to thank the ambassadors of the ASEAN countries, I mean ambassadors and the high commissioners, and there was 1 and 2 deputy chief de mission, for staying back and also gracing the NADI conclave. Their presence really made NADI more meaningful, because our conference is not only with Bangladesh and South Asia, but also we want to extend it beyond our region to the BIMSTEC and the ASEAN region also. And I would also like to thank the Deputy Chief de Mission of Japan, who had been with us, and also the Deputy High Commissioner of Australia, who in spite of her ill health during the, so she continued on and she today graced one of the sessions as a panelist. I'd also like to thank the High Commissioners of India to Bangladesh, Sri Bikram Doraiswamiji, and also the His Excellency the High Commissioner of Bangladesh to India, Sri Imranji. So they have their presence makes this occasion really meaningful. I'd also like to thank the Secretary General of BIMSTEC, Sri Tenjin Lekpelji. So his presence actually made BIMSTEC a part of NADI. So BIMSTEC is the new area where I think we have also thought of expanding it beyond to beyond the immediate region to Malaysia and Indonesia. So we are really thankful to him. We have a big delegation from Bangladesh. So there were members of parliament. There were also former members of parliament. There were academicians. So the huge delegation really made a lot of difference to this occasion. We are really thankful to all of them. So in addition, we had a galaxy of academic luminaries as our panelists and participants. We have former diplomats and existing diplomats we are really proud that they have graced this occasion, and we are really thankful for them for sparing their time to grace the NADI conclave. We are also grateful to the members of the research and technical institutions, industries, various universities who have come out in spite of their, and they have used their weekend to be part of NADI. So we are also like to thank Asian Conference, especially our the President of Governing Council, our MP Bejburua sir, he was for, and all the members of the Governing Council and our Executive Director for this wonderful organization of this event. We are also like to thank each and everyone in Asian Conference for that. And also like to thank the various departments of the state government who have stood by us, whether it is the GAD and our personnel department, and the Industries and Commerce Department, who has made this occasion, help us make this occasion successful. And last but not the least, we would also like to thank all the our officers who had joined us at the 11th hour, but did such a fantastic job that these and burned the midnight soil so that these conclave of Nadi becomes the success it deserves to be. With these words, I'd like to thank you one and all, and as our Honorable Chief Minister said, would be proud to host the Nadi 4.0 here in Guwahati as well. Thank you.
You know, a lot of agencies and people have got together to make Nadi successful. And one of them is Mr. Shamsul Arifin from the Friends of Bangladesh group. May I request him to kindly speak?
Good evening, Honorable Minister, State Minister for Bangladesh, Honorable panelist. Last 2 days, we had number of discussion. This time, Nodi 3, it was beyond Bangladesh, India. So we have learned enough from last 2 days. We are thankful to Asian Conference to organizing such a beautiful interaction, participating from both the foreign minister and other minister also. It was a pleasure to be here last 2 days. From Bangladesh, we had the foreign minister first time visiting the Northeast. He is from Sylhet, the nearby districts. And number of members of the parliaments are here, the intellectuals, teachers, and our fellow colleagues. Guwahati is a beautiful city. We had our 8th round of India-Bangladesh friendship interaction in 2016 in Guwahati. So we like Guwahati. Our people likes also Guwahati. This is the gateway to northeastern states of India. So Nodi, this time we had a discussion on how Nodi best can be utilized for the betterment of the human mankind. Particularly Bay of Bengal is a gateway to Asia Pacific, the Pacific Ocean, and the Atlantic also it goes. So BIMSTEC and BBIN, two important institutions has been developed based on the Bay of Bengal initiatives. Now Bangladesh can play a role on BIMSTEC Plus, and the BBIN can be utilized, and BBIN can go around. The Bhutan, Nepal, and the northeastern states of India can say, we are not landlocked, we are land connected. Bangladesh can connect that space. Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh now opened up that space that Bangladesh should facilitate the region to grow together. We want to grow together. We want to go ahead, we want to utilize our resources which is available to us. We can share it, we can distribute it among ourselves, we can share our sorrows and our pollution things. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great opportunity for Bangladesh people to be here with the invitation of Asian Confluence and the government of Assam and this Northeastern Council, who is a partner. So we are happy to announce that the NADI 4 will be in Bangladesh, and it is alternative year, 1 year in India, 1 year in Bangladesh. So next year, hopefully we are going to host NADI 4 in Bangladesh. Now I will request our member of the parliament, Mr. Tanvir Shakil Joy, to read out the NADI Declaration 2003. Thank you very much. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a wonderful event last 2 days, and it's been a great learning and sharing experience. And on behalf of Bangladesh team, I also again offer our sincere appreciation to Asian Confluence and especially the government of Assam and External Ministry of India and all present here. We offer our sincere appreciation to you for arranging this wonderful event, and as our respected Arifins are already informed, that we hope that we can also do better next time in NADI 4 in Dhaka or in Bangladesh. NADI 3 declaration, we the peoples of the Eastern Himalayan rivers and Bay of Bengal region that are represented by the NADI 3 conference, natural allies in development and interdependence. Drawing upon and remaining inspired by the mandate contained in Delhi Declaration of 23rd May 2015, at the 6th round of India-Bangladesh Friendship Dialogue, the Dhaka Declaration of 4th March 2016, at the 7th round of India-Bangladesh Friendship Dialogue, premised on the infinite promise of frontiers opened by the historic Framework Agreement for Cooperation and Development between Bangladesh and India of 6 September 2011. Desirous of building further upon and advancing the goals proclaimed in the NADI 1 Declaration of July 16, 2016 at Shillong, and the NADI 2 Declaration of 9th October 2017 in Dhaka, emphasizing on the central role of our rivers as living entities which help conceive, contextualize, and concretize the conditions of life and livelihoods in the shared ecosystems that we inhabit. Acknowledging the disconnect caused by the partition of 1947 to the shared rivers and the natural ecosystem that nourish us. Highlighting the indivisibility and inherent integrity of the mountains, the hills, the rivers, the plains, and the various strands of economy that integrally comprise our common existential space. Recognizing the role that education, information, and cross-boundary socio-cultural inclusion plays in understanding the nature and gravitas of rivers in the maintenance of life. Taking note of legal proclamations and rulings on the acknowledgement of rivers as legal persons by various national courts and across the domain of international law. Re-emphasizing the idea of integrating national priorities for embracing a transnational and basin-wise orientation to ensure inclusive architectures, design, and pathways for riverine systems. Stressing that resurrecting seamless riverine connectivity across all rivers of the Ganges, Brahmaputra, Meghna basin is critical to reviving, sustaining, and nurturing of the socio-economic ecosystems and reestablishing the civilizational contiguities. Underscoring that the pursuit of common goals of inclusive growth, sustainable development, and equitable distribution of both resources and wealth, and shared responses to common ecological and governance challenges calls for the creation of a common platform for an riparian states and people. Highlighting that the various meticulously constructed framework of cooperation that India and Bangladesh share have opened up a nearly infinite array of possibilities for win-win formulations in regional, multilateral, and global engagements across various circuits of agriculture, manufacturing, transportation, communication, services, trade, and infrastructure, especially in the Bay of Bengal area, which includes BIMSTEC and other sub-regional formulations, and recognizing the presence of the representative from South and Southeast Asian nations and also from nations beyond the immediate periphery of our rivers as a token of support for such efforts. Focusing on the 5 C's: connectivity, culture, commerce, conservation, and collaboration in the context of rivers and the region. Now, therefore, calls for connecting the mountain economy, the blue economy, and the plains economy by means of a continued dialogue amongst stakeholders, particularly the local communities that inhabit along the course of the rivers, and emphasizes on the enhancement of forest covers and industrial access, keeping the centrality of the regional rivers and other permanent water bodies in all such plannings. Establishing a dialogue among stakeholders from the Ganges to the Mekong basins for shared development, prosperity, and interdependence. Establishing a cascade of regional and sub-regional dialogues for deepening riverine connectivity by using multimodal transport solutions for fulfilling the promise of an equitable partnership amongst countries and peoples of the region based on mutual trust, respect, and sense of belonging. Engaging people of the river to undertake enterprises which can provide greater opportunities for innovation, entrepreneurship, and profound sense of ownership of the common resources and the shared spaces. Developing and facilitating river-centric tourism and other forms of premium category tertiary range of economic activities. Enhancing capital dredging, shoring, and maintaining of other such river management mechanisms for restoring the environmental flow of the regional rivers, the historical economic linkages between and amongst the people inhabiting such areas, and co-creating advanced economic spaces. Incubating principles, positions, and projects for ensuring sustainable agriculture, food security, disaster management, and early warning. Early warning systems, and mitigating and adapting to adverse changes in the climate, keeping the centrality of the rivers. Actively engage and embed the media and the academia for all such ideations associated with rivers. The track 1.5, the third space, which comprises both track 1 and track 2 initiatives, comprising elements from the governments, the civil society bodies, the academia, the media, the youths, and every person that the river and ocean touches, drawing strengths from many other similar civil society initiatives and institutional mechanisms like the BIMSTEC and other such regional and sub-regional frameworks. Jointly undertake the resolve to ensure a flourishing river economy by deploying various measures of greater cooperation and human development, trade, investment, information and communication technology, and people-to-people connectivity for constructing a robust platform of events, actors, and champions for strengthening the civilizational linkage, connecting our many people to their shared cultures and developing an enhanced riverine heritage and links in the northeastern region of South Asia and beyond the Bay of Bengal community. Resolved to continue the process of NADI and celebrating the continuity of life through rivers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests on the panel. I think with this, we finally conclude NADI 2022. We hope to see you all for NADI 4 in Dhaka, as is being said. So thank you all for being with us, and hope to see you very soon next year. Until then, on behalf of Asian Confluence, the Government of Assam, and the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, I thank you all. Namaskar. We'd like to have a group photograph on stage, please. I request the members of the Governing Council also to kindly come on stage.